Accountability is a big topic, but it's often overlooked. Accountability goes with success hand in hand, and we often try to sidestep it. Today I go into how to work on accountability and how to be successful at it. Roll it. Alright guys, so accountability is a topic, and it's one of my favorite topics. It's all around goal setting and how do we remain accountable and responsible for what we do. It's really simple, but it's one of those things that's easier written down and said rather than actually executed. So accountability really is an internal thing. We measure accountability based on what we feel is success, and that really rolls down to the goals. And this is a common thing that we often see. A person decides to do something, they set some goals, they try to achieve goals don't get achieved. Their mindset is that they're accountable and they will achieve these goals. That's why they set them, then they get disappointed. They don't return to what occurred, that responsibility for being accountable really on these goals, and that failed, and what to do next time. They just either continue to try and get through or quit altogether. It's something we often see. Now you might be thinking, well, how come some people just are able to get back up on the horse and keep riding, and they keep doing great even if they go through something like a bankruptcy that's so big, yet they're back in it, and within a year, 2 years, 3 years, we're back at that $1 million mark, making the profits they know they can make. What ends up occurring in the mindset? And that really comes down to looking at how accountable you are for your actions and how to actually switch that into a positive so that you can continually grow. Let's be clear. When you are responsible for something and you want to make sure you achieve it, you need to make yourself accountable for it. You can't just say, I'll do it tomorrow. You got to hustle. You got to keep moving in order to make that achievement possible. So how does that look for everybody? Well, everybody's got a vision of what they're accountable for and how to remain accountable for it. And usually what we see is mentality where we start, we get going, and as these goals don't get achieved, we start to slow down and we start to think through, maybe this isn't for us. We don't first analyze, did we put in our full effort? And this is really what I try to tell people when they're not achieving that goal that they're supposed to do each and every day. Did you meet it? Why didn't you meet it? Is it because it's not for you, or is it because you have other priorities and you haven't made this the priority? And this is something that you don't want to sugarcoat. You don't want to look at it and be like, no, push it to the side. It's something that you really need to understand and feel. And the biggest thing about it is appreciation. You need to appreciate yourself for the level that you have achieved. So why is it that we aren't trained to understand what accountability is and how to be accountable for the things that we are doing, take responsibility, keep going? Well, one of the biggest factors is society and how we're brought up. We're not taught these skill sets. In fact, most of the time, when you're accountable for something and you have a responsibility for something, i.e. when you're young and you have a chore and you don't do it, well, the repercussion is punishment. It's not, let's take this learning moment and let's grow a new habit, because clearly that habit, it isn't working. Let's look at something that we can do to immediately change what we're doing and really feel that we're achieving something, and that's appreciating where we're at. I'm gonna go into another video about these check-ins and different ways of achieving this, but really it's sitting down and saying to yourself, what did I do today? How far did I get through to achieving my goals? And then how much do I need to do to actually achieve more? And really be happy with what you've done so far. Now, how do you get that happiness? Because I know you're gonna say, Nico, I'm not happy with it. Nobody ever is. Nobody's ever happy with the amount of work they're doing. They want to do more, especially if they're passionate about it. But there's only 24 hours in a day. So we look at it and we ask ourselves, can we write everything down? I got my pink paper here today, and I asked myself, what have I done? Did I achieve everything I wanted to do? I write down each and every day something that just tells me and gives me some feedback that's saying, hey, I was supposed to do this, this, and this. I got this and this done. I'm not sure why I didn't do that, but I'm going to monitor it. And what we want to achieve over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks is how much are we getting done? What are we able to do based on our timelines? And then look at it and appreciate the fact that you can do that, because many people just go home, sit on the couch and do nothing, and they just have their 9 to 5 and wonder why they can't have a more, vibrant life with more things going on and have that lifestyle that, we see that we want, but we choose the couch. So be happy about this. And then what we're gonna do is ask ourselves, how do I make it so that I get better? We take out all the pieces of paper, and I'll bring it back up again, and we go through it, and each day that has passed, we've written down exactly what we achieved, what we didn't achieve, and we start writing down in the process, what was that day like? What was occurring? What was happening with my priorities in life? What was happening with my mental capacity for that day? What was happening with my body? We're doing this kind of a process where we're analyzing how successful were we at achieving the goal and why we didn't achieve it. Now, if you're doing something like a check-in that I'm going to get into in the next video, really that's going into it full out and really analyzing it. But in this case, just to build up this idea of being more accountable for what you're trying to achieve and your goals and how to move forward in the right direction, we're just going to look at the habit portion and the pattern that's developed. And this pattern, now that you're looking at it over a collective week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months, now we can look at it and really ask ourselves, what are we doing that is really hindering our success? And let's remove it from the equation. Let's take it out. A great example is the fact that some people are trying to lose weight. They're on these programs, they can't lose weight, and a good example on this is when you're trying to lose weight. You get on a program, you get on this diet, you start working out, you start doing all these things, and you start trying to achieve certain goals with your body. And as you go, you have your breakdowns, you end up, not eating the way you're supposed to be eating, you're not working out as much as you're supposed to be working out, and the pattern emerges. And really, it's not because you couldn't, it's because life happens, and when life happens, it just takes you away from it, and then tomorrow pattern emerges, and then all of a sudden you're not doing anything and you're back to square one. This is where we would do something like this, where we can look at the patterns that are occurring each and every day that are not allowing us to succeed. So the number one point I'm trying to make in this video is the fact that when we're trying to be the best we can at something, we need to be accountable for the actions we take. And if we're not, then we need to address that. We need to make sure that, hey, I'm the boss, I'm the CEO, I need to put my foot down and I need to make things happen. But because I don't have a boss and I am the boss, I need to be accountable for my own actions. And this is where we look at it and we appreciate, it's a given that we need to appreciate what we have achieved so far. And once we do that, it will give us a motivational boost to say, hey, I'm around 60-70%. I'm not all there yet, but I'm almost there. Where's my pattern? There's my pattern. Okay, I'm doing this, and it's really affecting my ability to be at that 80-90%. Okay, so now let's look at that. Let's break it down and say, what can we change there to make it better? And this is the whole flow of it. Now, if you're doing different methods to really look into this and make it more successful, please let me know. Just comment below and let me know what's worked, what hasn't worked. Let me know if you have coaching clients and if you are a coach, and what has worked with your clients. And let me know what kind of ideas you'd like to talk about further on this topic, because it's a lengthy topic, and the reality is that we always miss certain things that some people are doing, some people are not. And the reality is you can get very good at being accountable for what you're doing. The next video I'll be talking about that check-in and how to effectively use a check-in, and then how to apply it so that over a span of 3-4 months you'll get moving in the right direction. This video alone should give you you a head start, and you should already be brainstorming what a check-in is all about. It's very easy to implement, and we can go from there on seeing that success happening. My name is Nikos Rentas, mentorsapproach.com. Please comment, like, subscribe, and of course, we'll be back with the next video tomorrow.